Welcome to this week's episode of the BS With Birchy podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Birch, and this is a show unraveling the truth to the facade of the 21st century. We're now exiting the matrix and waking up to motherfucking reality. Today, a lot of people ask, should I quit my job to pursue a career in property investing? And I always cringe when I hear that, right? Because people think, okay, I better quit my job to go and invest in the property. But the way that you buy property is by having a job. The bank won't give you a loan if you don't have the cash flow. So it's a chicken and egg situation, right? So looking at that journey, I think it's a gradual progression to be able to replace your income is the best part. There's different ways that you can invest in the property naturally. We'll explore some of those things today, but we're going to take a deep dive in. So I guess, the first thing is should you quit your job? Quitting your job is cutting off your access to go and get funding from the bank. Well, unless you've got a business that's bringing in the cash flow, but you're doing something for the active income in order to go and get the passive income. So as an investor myself starting out, I just wanted to work and earn as much money as I could from my job to be able to go to the bank to service for as much debt as I could get so I could buy as much asset that I could attain, and then that asset would then produce me the cash flow so I didn't have to go back to work. I think a lot of people out there think, if I quit my job, I can be focusing on buying a property or this or that or the next thing, and that's totally opposite way that it should be looked at. There is ways around that where you could become more like an active investor, but for me personally, I'm a passive investor. I like to own the assets. I like them to go up in value. I like the cash flow to go up in value, and I like to live off that cash flow. When we look at active investors out there, there's a lot of investors which will buy a property for 200 grand, let's call it. They'll sell it for 300 grand. They'll have to pay capital gains tax, real estate fees, whatever. They might make 50k left over, then they have to go and do that all over again, but they don't have an asset anymore because they've sold that asset on. And then they've got to look at, okay, they bought it for 200, sold it for 300. When they go buy the next property, how much is that going to be? That might cost you 250k. And is it that you made the money because you're the best investor in the world, or is it the money got made because the market shifted with it as well? So you need to work out, I guess, at the start of any journey, as an investor, do you want to be an active investor or do you want to be a passive investor? For me, I'm a passive investor. You don't see me out there building buildings. You don't see me there cutting up blocks of land. That's not my game. I don't like to do that. I like to buy the asset, hold it for intergenerational wealth, produce a cash flow from that asset. Occasionally I'll sell them off and buy other assets, but that's sort of minimal. It's not my core intention on buying a property in order to sell it off to make a profit. And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck, is they think, I can buy a property, I can sell it, and you sort of go sideways. I've got investors that I've worked with for a decade, and they just buy a property, they sell it, they buy it, they sell it, and they're happy that they're making 50k here and there, but it's 10 years has passed and you don't own the asset. You might own one or two or three properties, but if you had have kept them and did nothing with them and been just so lazy and passive, then those things would have gone up so far greater in value of that time. So I think as an investor, as I said, for me, it's passive. I've been very active in my life to generate the income to be able to then support the asset accumulation. There was a point when I used to work 2 full-time jobs, starting out building my portfolios. What I had to do is what I had to do. I wanted to work those 2 jobs to start off with the view of me wanting to work those jobs, not being in a position when I get older where I had to go and work 2 full-time jobs, and that's a big difference. So if you're younger and getting into the property market, if you're 20, 25, 30, whatever. I've got a kid that signed up the other day that's 16, just turned 17. He's buying his first property under his parents' name, and then they'll move it over once he gets of age to be able to sign the contract legally. So it doesn't matter where you're at. The younger you can start, the better, because when you get to 30, for example, and if you're 20 or if you're 30, if you're 20, you may not have kids. You're 30, you might be settling down, getting kids. That's extra expenditure at the time. It makes it harder and harder for people to do. So if you're in your teens, 20s, even 30s, you've got more opportunity around you to make that work when you're younger. As you get older, like if you bought a house to live in, there's so many investors out there which they might have any money. They've got a wife and 2 kids at home, and the wife doesn't work because she's looking after the kids, and there's no opportunity to save. But the house that they bought for 500 grand is now worth 800 grand, and they've got 200 grand equity that they can go and tap into. With that 200 grand equity, they can use that to buy more assets and whatnot. So you got to view as well what stage of your life are you in when you're starting your investing journey, and realistically how long will it take you to get there. And I think 5 years is a great time, but 10 years, like if someone is starting investing today and they're not retired in 10 years, I'm very concerned, or not have the ability to retire. And a lot of people start out with good intentions, but their strategy isn't strong enough, or their emotions get involved, or they deviate from that strategy, which sort of holds them back. So in order to quit your job, I think it's important, if you buy 2 properties, if you're on, let's say you're on 150k a year income, and you want to replace 150k a year income, how many properties do you need to replace 150k? If they're renting for $300 a week each, you're going to need 10 properties. If they're renting for $400 a week, you're going to need like 12 or 13 properties in your position to be able to retire. If you think you're going to retire with 2 properties rent for $400 a week, you haven't planned it too well, right? $400 a week times 2 is $800 a week. $800 times 52 is like $1,600 per year. That's before any expenses. So you're not going to retire on those 2 properties. You need to have a solid plan that you can reverse engineer and go, okay, cool, this is the steps that I need to take in order to get there. I've never seen anyone, I have seen a couple of people, they're not the most ideal sort of loan scenarios and whatever. I don't see people going to the bank and saying, I just quit my job, I've got no income, I've got no nothing, but you should lend me money to go buy a property now, and I've got all this time to spend on looking at a property. No, my properties, I don't even look at them ever. I never see them. Why would I not need to work to buy a property? The property is just like, let's just go and collect it and make it do its thing. So, I don't understand why people think I better quit my job and I can start investing. You need to plan it. You need to have a business plan around it. So there becomes a point in your journey where you go, hang on a second, I can retire now because I've built my portfolio, but I guess should I quit my day job to start investing in the property or to be a property investor? That's not the mentality to be having. You need the income to be able to provide to the banks. And some people might look at it from a perspective and going, okay, I need to get 10 properties to retire and build myself a 150k income or 100 grand income into the thing. But in order to get there, I might need 50 grand deposit per property, and I can't save 50 grand. So it might mean that you buy 2 properties a year, you buy one as a buy and hold, and you buy one as a flip property, and you sell it and take the profit and then use that as your next deposit. There's all different ways to split the strategy up, and I think sometimes investors end up becoming collectors, right? So you're an investor, you want to be making profit, you want to be achieving KPIs. When people, how many of you that are watching have a property and think, okay, where's the KPI of my property? Is the asset performing like it should do? Is the asset got the capability to even produce like I need it to? If it's not this year or next year, could it do it in the future? Or are you buying a property and you're just collecting an asset and you're going, oh, no, it's a good one. It could potentially, hopefully, maybe one day go up in value. I could potentially put a granny flat on it, etc. Like potentially, hopefully, maybes and one days do not pay the bills. What pays the bills is the cash flow that's coming through, and you can add that value if you need to be, etc. So, I guess working out. First thing would be have the plan and go, okay, what do I need to do? Working out how you're going to get there, and then taking those steps in order to get there. But I rarely have people call me up and say, Nathan, I bought a property from you 10 years ago, and I bought it for 200, I sold it for 400, fantastic. On the day, they're like, I doubled my money, fantastic, thank you very much. And then later on, they're like, shit, I wish I didn't sell it, it's now worth 800 or $1 million. And that's the unfortunate thing. And hindsight's a wonderful thing, and everything looks good when you sell it on the day. But when you look back, it's like, wow, like I should have kept that property. I should have bought more of those assets. So what do you need to do? And generally it revolves around finance is the big part about it. So you need to make yourself look attractive to the bank. It's like if you want to go and attract someone of, as a partner, I'd say someone of the opposite sex and go, hey, what do I need to do to impress? Or maybe like fucking have a shower would be good, and getting groomed would be good, and brushing your teeth would be good. People would do that in order to find a life partner or someone to go and be with, but they wouldn't sit there and go, well, what does the partner that's going to be of the opposite to give me the money that I need in order for me to achieve my goals, how do I make myself look attractive to that person, which is i.e. the bank or the lender or whatever. So you need to make sure that you're getting yourself looking attractive from a financial perspective. Quitting your job is not that. Increasing your income, increasing your cash flow, increasing your capital base in order to have the deposit that the bank requires from you in order to be able to give you the money is a very crucial thing. So I think when we look at business owners as well, this is something very important for business owners out there. You work so hard in your business, getting day to day, you don't take weekends off, don't take holidays, don't have holiday leave, don't have a super fund in your account, you're not paying yourself super, whatever the case may be. You need to take your active income, right? Business is very good for an investor. The job is the best one because you just get a loan because you're just an employee. But if you're a business owner, well, then you're out there earning the active income. But what are you doing with that active income? You need to be putting it into passive income investments so that you can take the active income that you're earning and putting it into passive assets. And those passive assets will create you an income that's greater than your active income. And that's when you can truly get into a position of fulfillment in life. Because once you've got the basic necessities, you don't need to be tied to a job or enslaved to, be a part of the matrix where you're, indebted every day from a time perspective, and you can live life doing what you want, when you want, how you want, and on your own terms. So you want to take that active income whilst you've got it, whether you're in a job or whether you're in a business, and put that into passive assets, and those assets that will generate cash flow every week on week, but also will generate more capital growth and more cash flow growth as well on top. So yeah, the other aspects of how do you increase your cash flow, and I think that's what, instead of going, I'll quit my job to be a property investor, you'd be thinking, shit, how can I get more income to make myself more attractive to the other side of it, which is the lender? What things can you do? Can you get a second income? Can you increase your income? When was the last time you went to your boss and said, hey, I want more salary? Not like, give me a pay rise, but it's like, how do you add more value to be able to get that? When was the last time you reviewed any of those things in your position? When was the time like, okay, what can I do? Do I have, energy and time that I've sold for money, that I've bought a Datsun 1600 that's now worth 50k over there? Do I need that car with a rug over it that's rusting away, or can I swap that and trade it in for an asset? Did I buy a Bitcoin for 20 grand and now it's worth 60 grand? I've now got a deposit that I can put into an investment property. What other options do you have around you in your orbit to be able to get you to move forward? I think they're very important things to be looking at. Personally. So the day that I quit my job, I had worked very hard. I'd worked 2 full-time jobs between the age of 17 to 24. So 7 years I worked 2 full-time jobs. I never earned over 100 grand. I earned about 100, maybe 100 to 110 between those 2 jobs. On the last year of me being employed, I quit the second job maybe 2 years before that. And then I had one income that I was earning 100 grand from. And I realized that when I couldn't service the bank anymore, I was like, well, I'm sort of tapped out here, right? I'm doing myself a disservice. I want to then go and start playing with my properties and being able to generate more wealth. So I didn't quit my job until I had dozens of properties in my portfolio, and the pay slips weren't really meaning much to me because it just didn't add anything then. So I think instead of quitting your job to start off with, the job's a crucial part for you to be able to get the assets. And once you've got the assets, you've got the cash flow, then you've got the cash flow, you don't need your job. That is how you play Monopoly. So if you need help on building out a strategy or whatever, you can reach out to us, 1300 367 925, email us at admin@binvested.com.au. If you like the podcast, and give us a share and a like, and make sure to tune in every Thursday, Google Play, Apple Play, Spotify, and YouTube. Thanks for tuning in this Thursday. Have a great day, and speak to you soon. Bye.
The system does. I don't care if you do or you don't. But what I'm saying is the truth to the reason you choke. I've never been a failure. Excuse my behavior. Keep talking. Haters doing me a favor. And you're telling